Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us under the library. This is our actual play Call of Cthulhu podcast, set in a homebrew universe, written by our keeper, where the story is created collaboratively in the moment. If you like what we do here and would like to support our efforts, a great way to do so is to pick up a copy of our module. It's called The Snake's Oil. It's set in Season 1 of this show. It features characters and NPCs from that timeline, and you can find it at DriveThru RPG, or you can head over to underthelibrary.com/support. And while you're there, you can also find our Patreon. It's another great way to support the show. Again, underthelibrary.com/support, or you can go to patreon.com/underthelibrary. And if you are a player or GM of tabletop RPGs and would like to improve your storytelling, role-playing, collaborative elements, make a safer space, make your table more inclusive, just be a better role player, you should check out our other show. It's called Up Your RPG, and you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. With that, let's get to a show. My name is Arthur. I will be playing Buddy. I am joined by a full cast tonight. Those folks are Emily as Joe, Chris as Pappy, Rick as Sam, Wayne is Sister B, and Scott is Eddie. Of course, our keeper is Michael. Michael, over to you.
Hey, thanks, and thanks for joining us. Since we not make up. What am I? Oh my gosh.
Starting off strong, baby.
Yep, I haven't blundered this in a long time.
I was going to say.
So
it's been a while.
So many successful weeks in a row.
Statistically, you were in for a blunder.
I was due. Anyway, all right. Under the Library is a Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing horror. Oh my god,
Game.
Thank you. And with that, there's elements of horror, include violence, gore, and other things that might turn some people's stomachs. So be warned. With that, if you spend your spare time trying to discover the true identity of Jack the Ripper while reminiscing on your tooth collection, you're probably in the right spot. And with that, I'll turn it over to Emily for
not fucking around tonight.
Recap of last week.
Okay.
Is that foreshadowing? I screwed up the intro. It's dark.
You're going to take it out on us.
Something big is coming. So Eddie and Buddy, struggling to get out of the basement, got a shot off and heard a yell. When they finally made it out into the main store of the gas station garage, they see a blood trail leading outside. They head out and are confronted by a giant of a man as police are approaching in the distance. And with few options, Eddie shoots the man right between the eyes. They steal his car and drive away from the police, which sends them toward Abiquiu. Back at Richard's house, Betty Lou is trying to leave, but Sister B presses her for information. Betty Lou imparts a vision to the sister, and she does then leave. Her parting words are a warning to protect Joe. And as Sister B watches, Betty Lou reaches the bottom of the driveway, walks behind a tree, and disappears. And that's what we've got.
That's your cue, Michael.
Oh. All right.
It's so good.
So this week, I think we'll start off in the house. And we were about to tuck everybody in when we left off, but I'm sure that the characters probably need a moment to parse what happened. Am I right on that or no?
I was going to say, what was the exact, and I can't remember, we came back in, Sister B was outside.
And
no, there
was, that's right, there was the last little thing Sister B wanted to do, and that was?
Sister B questioned Joe about things she shouldn't have known.
Right.
And Joe was very intensely uncomfortable and ended the conversation and headed for the basement because she planned to sleep in Cully's old room.
Yeah. And you pegged her a little bit about her parents because you wanted to gauge her reaction, and you got that reaction.
That was it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, Sister B wanted to see if the perhaps false image from Betty Lou was false or true, and she thinks it's perhaps true.
Hmm.
Which is a little unsettling for Sister B. It makes no sense, this woman, this devil. And so Sister B wants to get Sister B will go over to the counter where whiskey is sitting that was poured, a nice full one, because she didn't have any. She just picks it up and goes, well, this is two visions, and she slugs it down.
Can you make a spot hidden as you do that?
Absolutely. Sister B does spot hidden and gets a 93.
Okay.
Ooh.
The whiskey has taken effect.
As Sister B slams her glass back down to the visions, your hand knocks the glass that Betty Lou had been using, and it goes spilling across the counter. And it's in that moment as it spills across the counter. You can't be sure for now because you've just spilled it everywhere. But it seems like that glass was full, as in she never took a sip either.
Uh-huh.
But we'll never know.
Sister B goes to the bottle and checks the bottle out and sees how much there is in the bottle.
It's a quarter full. Seems like a good amount.
She takes another. She pours it in another one for herself. It's a tough night.
Okay.
Sister B straightens out outfit, picks up suitcase, and then goes, "Oh, it's American. Is it American whiskey or where's it from?
Yeah. It would be
the good Scottish stuff, single malt.
No. This be some Tennessee stuff.
Oh, this is from those little mountains. This good whiskey with that strange water." And she, it's not the vodka, but this stuff will do. As she goes, "I will find small corner to go sleep in for a while and do my prayers." And she,
Pappy would be sitting right there with his hobo nickel in his hand. So if Pappy, you overhear any of this and wanted to respond at all, feel free. And
Sister B talks out loud a lot.
Yeah, if you want to appear from the darkness anywhere, feel free as well. Okay.
And so she will go. She hasn't been to any other rooms in this place, and so something, doesn't have to be far or away. It could be just a little corner, and she looks for even something folded up on the ground because the place isn't really done up, so it could be a folded pile of curtains or a rug or something like that. She doesn't need a bed, and she just goes to settle down in a quiet corner into her prayers for the evening.
So that would be probably the sitting room then, where Joe and Cully hid behind the couch, is what I'm guessing. Otherwise, you're going to be stepping over the chalk lines and get into the bed with the markings of where Richard's body was, which seems a little bit beyond what Sister B would do.
No, she doesn't want.
Okay. All right. So Sister B's off saying her prayers. Pappy, you're in the kitchen with your hobo nickel.
Yeah, I'm just going to. I think I'm just going to curl up on the kitchen floor. Take my little bedroll, make a neck pillow, and just excuse myself, and try to be as unobtrusive as possible.
Okay. All right. And sounds like y'all are all bedding down. Sam, is that what you're doing? Is bedding down for the night then?
Well, so Sam was upstairs keeping an eye on listening out, and then watched as Betty Lou walked her way out and Sister B followed. And as things are settling down, he comes down the stairs and he looks over at Joe. And Joe, it sounds
so
like
Joe's all the way down in the basement.
Joe's already left.
No, Joe hadn't left, but she's all the way down in the basement. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I guess at this point I would probably run into maybe Sister B on her way out of the kitchen.
Okay. And Pappy making his bedroll on the floor.
Yeah. Sure. And I'd say, so you two gentlemen. Nope. You two individuals.
None.
Play your character. You're very hairy.
Mr. Sam, I am none, but I take exception to that. Even as my simple outfit in old ways. Maybe you make mistake. I don't know. Thick beard.
Yeah, it's been a long night. What brought you two here? I'm a little puzzled as to how you aren't more troubled by this surprise guest who pops in, says a couple of whisperer words, and just makes her way out without clear intention as to how she got here, how she knew Joe was here. I am quite suspicious.
I am just as suspicious as you, Mr. Sam, but maybe I keep it inside a little better. The whiskey has helped me keep the suspicions even better down in a small box inside.
Yeah, I suppose it's a different culture over there in old Mother Russia. So I suppose you're a little tolerant to these sorts of oddities. And Pappy, we have not introduced. And I hold out my hand as you're getting your bedroll together, and I say, "You seem to be a bit quieter than maybe the others here. What part you from?"
Yeah, I don't want to cause any trouble. I just was here to keep an eye on Sister. Don't feel like walking back, so yeah, I'll just sleep here. Where am I from? Oh, where am I not from? I'm from everywhere.
Everywhere, huh? That's everywhere USA. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you keep your secrets there, sir. That's fine.
Secrets. What
That's
secrets?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
have you ever met any hobos?
well, sir, you're very well spoken for a hobo.
Oh, a lot of hobos are very well spoken.
That's, are they now?
Yes, hobos are mostly fellows like me that came back from World War One and just shell shocked, couldn't reassimilate into society, but couldn't hold down a job. So that was the only choice. It has nothing to do with education level.
So what company were you with? Fellow veteran. I had no idea.
Oh, what front were you on?
Oh, I was on the Eastern Front there.
Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, I heard some horrible things.
That would be the Western Front.
No, there was an Eastern Front and a Western Front.
Yeah, but no Americans are on the.
Oh, you're right. No Americans around. Oh, Eastern Front, you said. Oh, okay. So you were fighting with these Russians, right?
That's why he's so suspect of
No,
Sister B.
we were on the.
You were on the eastern part of the Western Front.
Thank you. That's what I meant. It's like stage left, versus left. It's if the Western Front, Western Front's for the Germans, right? And then you're talking about the Americans are coming really from the east to the west. So that's sort of if you were there, you would.
No, the Americans would be coming from the west to the east.
Right.
Why you got to let truth get in the way of a good story, Wayne? Come on.
I understand. Mr. Sam, I understand how.
You understand what I'm saying? We're coming up to the
I understand
the
how
western
one
side
could
of Germany, right? But
I understand how someone could be confused.
There we go. You got
like
it.
I say, I got shell shocked myself, and I lost a good friend over there. You probably did as well.
Too many to count, I'll tell you that. Actually, a couple of friends from school, and I sort of pulled my collar down, and you can see some of the chemical burns from the mustard gas. Yeah. And I say, I think we're all left with some memories and a little bit more from back then. And I said, well, if I know there's a fellow veteran here, I think I feel a little more secure. To be honest with you, I'm gonna go back and. I got my family here, and have the alarms stopped, Keeper?
Yeah, they stopped a while ago. In fact, y'all would have been pretty keen that somebody make Sister B give me an intelligence roll. I think this fits Sister B most likely here.
Success.
Yeah. That pretty much once the alarm stopped was when Betty Lou said that she'd start making her way out.
Oh, it was. Yeah. It actually that corresponded pretty obvious.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably didn't require an intelligence roll. Sorry.
Yeah, I suppose if I was watching the dynamic, I probably would have maybe picked that up as well. Who knows?
Yeah, it's
very obvious. So
that's fair.
Now that the alarms are off, I'd come downstairs and have this conversation. That makes sense. So I say I need to go back and visit Cheryl. We're at the farm, and I'll come back in the morning. But if you're willing to stay here and keep an eye on Joe, I know she finds a little nostalgia and comfort here at now Cully's former home, and I'm gonna go say goodbye to her, and then I'm gonna head on over.
We'll keep an eye on the youngin. I sort of pull back my coat and show my service revolver.
Oh, and I'll do the same. My pistol.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey there.
Who's his longer?
Can I see your pistol?
You wanna? Can I see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Whoa, yours is heavier than mine.
Well, you keep yours really clean, though. I mean, I'm so surprised. There's just no gunk buildup anywhere along
Maybe
this.
you guys
This
could
is-
offer to clean each other's pieces.
Well, I do have some equipment in the car if you need. Anyway, so this is a wonderful weapon there, Pap. It brings back a lot of. And I sort of pause and look at it, and flashes sort of come to me, and I hand it back to you sort of quietly, and make my way to the basement stairs, and I sort of knock on the door lightly.
So, Keeper, I don't know how I would be in the room that Cully was staying in. I don't know if I would hear a light knock at the top of the stairs or not, but if so, I would respond.
You can make a listen roll on it.
Okay. Rolled a 97.
Yeah,
Yikes.
let's go. These dice are getting going. All right.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Let's see. So, well, I'm gonna give everybody a moment I'm gonna give Joe and I a moment to figure this one out. But there's no response to your light knock at the
Okay.
top of the stairs.
That's fair. Well, I'm worried I don't want to wake her, and she's already had a bit of a rough day. So I'll just let Pappy and Sister B know to let her know that I made my way back to the farm, and I'll be back in the morning if she wakes up before I get back. Fair enough. And I'll make my way to my car and hop in it and make my way down the driveway and head over to my farm.
Okay. It's probably a good half hour, 45 minutes to the farm, and you're a little over halfway there, and make a dex roll.
Getting hit by Joe's 97?
Jesus, right? Dex, let me see. Regular success.
Okay. And you're going down the highway and slam on the brakes as Betty Lou appears right in front of your car.
Do I see that it's Betty Lou though?
Yes. Yes, you do.
I don't slam on the brakes.
Oh, okay.
I saw that coming.
That's fine.
I didn't see that coming.
Saw that coming.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
How did I not
mile
see
away.
that coming?
That was
How
like-
did you not see it coming?
That was T-ball softball with Sam. Well,
It's like a
who's
big
in front
wide
of the
open
truck?
throat there waiting to be punched.
Yeah. So then there's a massive lurch as you can sustain minor injuries. We'll give your dex roll to that. As the car slams into something and you bang your face on the steering wheel, so you've now got a nice cut above your nose and a little blood coming down, and the nice little radiator steam coming up out of the front of the car.
Oh boy, Cheryl's gonna be pissed. And I'll so if I look up, I mean, do I see what I hit? Is it her? I mean, what is it?
You don't see anything, right? You just see you're kind of dazed, maybe slightly concussed, and there's just the steam coming up on the front of the car.
Oh, I love how this is going. So I'll make sure I got my pistol on me, and I'll hop out of the car and try and get my wits about me. And are the lights still on?
Yeah.
Right. And is the car still running, or you know what I mean? Is it just
Sure, but it's hissing, it's steaming, and with the headlights on, it gives a nice eerie glow, kind of out into the distance with all the haze coming up.
So I'll turn. Oh, I don't want to do this. I'll turn the car. Oh man, I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna turn the car off if I can leave the lights on. I don't know how it worked back
Sure.
then, but if that
that's
was the
fine.
case,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I don't want it to overheat necessarily, and I don't want
No.
to take a look at it, while it's
Yeah.
on.
It'd be
So I'll,
easier for your battery to die that way. Go ahead.
Yes, perfect. And I'll hop on out and take a look around as I get sort of my wits about me.
Okay. I'm in the front of your truck, right? You hop out and you look, and you can see laying on the ground in front of the headlights, the nose of a deer sticking out.
Hmm.
And I and I guess I'll take a few steps towards it with my pistol, sort of my hand on my pistol.
Okay, and there's blood coming out of the mouth of the deer, and it's laying there. It doesn't have a balloon on it that says "Get well soon," but
Great
otherwise,
callback, keeper. Great callback.
it looks like your pretty standard kind of roadkill of a deer.
And is it alive at all still, or is it dead?
How emotionally turbulent do you want this to be for Sam?
For Sam or for Joe? I wanted to be
For Emily.
Oh yeah, sorry, Emily.
You do what you need to do.
You do what you
Make
need
a
to
luck
do,
roll.
keeper.
Here, we'll leave it up to the dice. You make a luck roll.
21. Yeah, that's passed.
All right, then it seems to have passed.
Oh shoot! All right. Well, that's that. So
You were hoping it was
Wow.
me.
Yeah.
It's very telling.
I don't have a cinematic moment there with my pistol. Anyways, all right, fine. So, yeah, so I'll try and pry with sort of I got like a little knife on me, pocket knife. Is it embedded in the car? I guess in my mind it was like this deer, like, smushed in some fashion to the front bumper or something.
No, it's like just laying on the ground.
Yeah. All right, then I'll take it by the antlers and I'll try and drag it off the side of the road.
Okay. And
Does it have antlers? Is it a boy deer?
Oh, that's a fair point.
yeah, I think that's nice to pull it by the antlers. Actually, no, well, sure, that's fine. It has these antlers, and you're pulling it off to the side of the road. It's not terribly heavy. It probably only weighed about 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it off the side. Does any of the meat look good?
I mean,
Weird question.
you just killed it. Probably actually not that weird, right? Like you could.
Yeah, people eat roadkill.
It's true.
It's not a
Pappy,
Sorry, I'm.
as long as you drain the blood out of it, so it doesn't.
I mean, if you
I think I've got some trauma from previous seasons, so I'm.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go ahead and prepare it, go ahead.
I'll throw it in the back of the truck.
You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do any of the field.
Well,
you're not gonna field dress it.
Well,
Are you gonna
probably
field
would.
dress it, or are you just gonna
Don't
throw
you
it in the
have
back?
I'm
of the
gonna
truck?
throw it in the back. It's like 15 minutes from the farm, 20 minutes, right? I presume I was like at least halfway. Who knows? It won't take too much longer. And if the car still runs, and then I'll take a look, lift the hood, and sort of see sort of what's damage has been done.
And it looks like it'll probably get you back home. There's definitely you've cracked a pipe from the radiator, and you wouldn't want to push it too much.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll make sure there's enough fluid then still left, and I hop back into the car before.
You've got all that fluid left in the deer. In case
Well, I was about to actually, if I needed
Oh.
it, to be absolutely perfectly frank. That's why I didn't want to drain it just yet. Needed some coolant for the way back.
Sorry, I won't step on your.
Yeah, please. And I'll before I get in, I'll sort of do that first step in the car where I'm like able to sort of like look over the hood of it and do sort of a look around 360 degrees. And do I see anybody? Do I see anything?
Not a thing.
All right. And I'll just yell out, "Guess I'll be seeing you there, Bettaloo." And I'll get into the car, start it up, and start making my way back to the ranch.
Okay. Joe. Joe, you can't hide in the lore book.
I'm sorry, I was just writing. I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever comes.
Just like I didn't roll a 97. I didn't roll a 97.
Nope.
Yeah. By the way, Scott, Eddie got away with something last week. I just want you to know. But I went back over my notes and it won't happen again.
You're a saint.
Yeah. Okay. Joe, you're down in the bedroom there and it's dark and you're finally kind of alone and you reach for the book.
Of course. Everything's fresh in my mind again. I can't help myself.
Okay. And
so I open it and I just start paging through randomly because usually a section will draw me and that's where I'll go.
okay, give me a sand roll then. We'll see which section it draws you into.
Well, that's a fail.
All right. Let's see.
Oh no.
Oh, Joe. You have one little light turned on down there, and so it's kind of dim, and you set the quarter on the edge of the bed, and you're kind of leaning back or stretching as you start to look through the book, and the quarter falls down on the floor and starts to roll away from you. And the page starts to write in front of you. And it says, I have no idea where this stranger has come from and why or how I feel compelled to write in this book, but it seems of paramount importance to document at least where we are at this point in time. I don't believe he'll survive. In fact, I don't understand how he survived this long. But we do have him with somebody, and she should be able to heal him if she had seen him earlier. That I know. But it leads me more and more to believe that the things around us aren't which they appear to be, and those things that we have to be open to are devils equally as angels. And I sit here confused, not knowing whether to accept this person as a prophet, as a sign of things to come, or most likely the frailings of my sanity. And as you're reading this, right, it's writing out before you, like you've seen happen over and over again, and you start to get all of these flashes of children covered in soot with small little axes. Sorry, not axes. Little pickaxes, and yeah, wrong direction. Little pickaxes, and they're obviously mining deep inside of a cavern. The facilities that they have around them, it's coming in flashes, but you can feel the weariness of these children and the ache in their bones. They're lanterns, right? They're kerosene lanterns. There's no kind of battery operated anything, which you're used to. And you see their exhalations in this, and you get really cold, like you're down there with them. You can feel the dampness of the mine start to seep into your bones, and it locks you up, and you start to kind of whittle at your thumb again with your finger, and that you take 6 points of sand damage.
Six.
If
I reach out, can I touch one of the children?
Yeah, so maybe that's part of what so sure. Yeah, as you reach out, this girl you touch. Is that what you want to do? You want to reach out and touch one of the children?
Yeah.
So they're madly picking away, and this girl turns and looks at you, and she's missing her right eye, and she's gaunt, like just emaciated, right? And her hair's all matted and in knots, and she turns and she looks at you, and she very raspily says, what are you doing? Don't stop. Don't stop whatever you do.
Why?
Because they'll feed us to them. Don't stop.
Who? What?
And then you kind of sharp back into this room, and you're still cold and damp. Not like physically damp, but you like feel cold and damp from being inside the mine. And you throw the book away from you. You're just repulsed by it, but at the same time, absolutely drawn to it.
So I have another book. I have that sketchbook that was in the box that I retrieved. I'd like to just pull that out and start madly scribbling anything I can remember.
And it's with otherworldly realness that you sketch the girl that looked at you. So that, like, that one eye and the matted hair and everything.
Okay.
And that's part of it, right? You maybe like well into the night, right? Pencil nubbing down, you sketch it's almost compulsively, you're just sketching away everything that you can remember from that vision.
And there, I probably get up, pace around, remember something else, go back. I can't turn my brain off to even consider sleeping.
Yeah, and that would probably be the manicness of the from that, like that large sand loss, right? Like that, it's the manicness. You're basically not going to be able to sleep tonight either.
Yeah.
You're just gonna, yeah. And you spend time. If we cut away from that, if there's something else you want to do, but when we do cut away from that scene, it would basically be you kind of mumbling out, trying to talk to this girl, trying to like re-access that vision, trying to get back to that space, but not being able to.
In my franticness to try to get back there, I would probably get the book and try to find the page that I was on and just recreate the experience.
Okay, so you're rereading that page.
Is it still there? The text that appeared at the moment that I went into the vision?
Yeah, and I'm sorry if that hasn't been clear. So basically, when you're reading at this book, it doesn't always happen, but sometimes writing appears, and whatever writing appears always stays there. It like becomes a permanent fixture in the book.
Okay.
So you can always go back and reread it.
Yeah. Can I reclaim the vision that way? What happens if I reread those words?
Oh boy.
I mean, manic obsession, like,
yeah,
I feel like I would try anything I could.
And I think that that's part of the frustration. You're manically like repeating this action, but nothing's happening.
Okay. Yeah. And somehow I've had this book for so long, and yet it's never occurred to me I'd like to write in it, right at the end of the most recent entry, who are you? ?
Hang on a sec. And right after it, it says, "Why, I own this book. Who are you?"
I'll write.
Okay.
I'm Sarah. I live in Abiquiu.
And it writes back to you, "Are you God?"
Well, I will write back. No.
Do you remember the
Who
line
are
from
you?
Ghostbusters?
What'd you say, Scott?
I don't want to ruin the moment.
Okay.
I'll say it later. But there's a line from Ghostbusters that covers this.
And it writes back to you, "So this is not your prophet?"
Boy. Where are you keeping him? She writes.
And it stops.
Okay.
And
Speak to me. Talk to me. Where'd you go? There will probably be a little bit of continued manic attempts.
And then so you're furiously scribbling, right? Trying to and you do this for like 2, 3, 4 pages. You pace, right? Not 2 to 3, 4 pages consecutively, but like you'll write, you'll pace, you'll come back, you'll write again.
All right. Are you Hans?
Right. And then finally, make a luck roll.
Okay.
It'd
be nice to roll something good for once.
This is out of my hands here.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. And so you pause because you feel something. You feel the book. It's like vibrating, and then it slowly scrawls out in front of you in this really kind of shaky. You see the writings change, and it says Bloodstone.
Ah! Okay. Okay.
Do it.
Well, I think at this moment, after pages and hours, I'm probably just caught and I'm just staring. I won't write anything else.
This is like at this point, this is like into the morning. It probably doesn't even mean anything to you.
Yeah.
Can I just ask what that leaves your overall SAN at?
Yes, you may. Do I have to respond? No. It's 32.
Ask all you want. I'm not going to tell you.
Exactly.
All right. So fair to cut away from that at that moment?
Yes.
Okay. And
boy, you know who would have found that very interesting? Franny.
Franny?
Oh. Franny.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, you betcha I'm writing in this journal.
Why are we?
Okay. As we pull kind of the camera away and back through the house, Pappy sleeping on the floor.
Oh, Pappy is not sleeping.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Then we'll pull the camera back through the house. Is Sister B sleeping? Is that fair? Sister B, to me, I imagine Sister B like this large figure sitting on the couch with her head.
Oh, she's not large.
Oh, she's not?
She's diminutive.
Oh,
it's a gymnast.
She's a large man.
She's size
with a big beard.
4 foot tall, 300 pounds.
She's a size 45.
Oh, I've projected Wayne onto Sister B. So this diminutive nun then with her head just kind of tilted down, and she's sleeping very calmly though, like serenely, but in a sitting up position. is how I
Uh,
imagine.
She would always have her suitcase behind her and leaning against it and her head on it because that's her suitcase, so no one could take it, and it's just how she works, and it's most comfortable.
Okay.
It has a big stain on it from where her head's always on it.
Okay.
Weird.
So I'm sleeping on my side on the floor.
Okay.
The area with the symbols is right in front of me.
Okay.
So I'm blocking the symbols with my body.
Okay.
With the coin that I was fussing with,
Yep.
the hobo nickel, the front part of it has been carved as hobo nickels are, turning the Native American guy into Porky Pig.
Okay.
The backside, however, has been carved into a symbol.
Okay.
And I'm looking along there to see if there's a symbol that matches that symbol. And if there is, I touch the two together and push the nickel in as a key.
Yeah. And so there is indeed the what is the symbol on the back of the nickel? Sorry.
Oh, it's arcane
And mysterious and
mysterious.
fluid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
have you ever seen those sigils for demons?
yeah.
It looks like one of those, like a sigil.
Okay. And so you line those sigils up and you press very firmly into the other sigil. And it depresses slightly, not much at all, the width of the nickel. And you hear a popping sound inside the cabinet.
Okay, I'll move when that happens so that if anyone hears, they might think it was my bones creaking or something.
Okay.
And then I'll just keep it cool for a little while. And then I'll try to open it.
Okay. And when you open the cabinet inside, it's a tiny little wooden shelf. You just see it's now raised up like a little compartment that popped up at the base of the cabinet. And when you reach in there, it's large enough to hold a book. And as you push it in there, there's a leather-bound volume inside there.
Okay, I'll carefully pull it out so that I try not to make any noise, just to be safe.
Okay.
And I assume I can't read it because I assume that there's not enough light.
Yeah, I think that would probably, where you are.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay up all night. And at the first rays of dawn, when there's enough light, then I'll quickly thumb through it, or at least the beginning, to see what's going on. But until then, I'll just wait for the morning light.
Okay. And with the morning light,
and of course close the thing again. So
sure. Can we make a stealth roll on all this?
Sure. Yeah. That's an 80.
Okay.
Sister B is a wily light sleeper.
Yeah. Sister B, you hear Pappy rustling an awful lot through the night. It would make sense that you're a light sleeper. You have to be pretty aware of your surroundings.
Oh,
and
yes.
I'm guessing you probably wouldn't do anything to engage him, but you would certainly see him in the cabinet at some point in the night, and we can't tell what, but he's reaching in there and stretching a bit and making these odd motions, and he seems to have recovered something.
Oh, well, Sister B, her first concern would be then for his welfare. So if he was not sleeping and fidgeting, she would see that in many people who have gone through trauma and terrible things. And if he was, because she's never, seen him at night, and if he was having, perhaps if he was dreaming or anything else, and that's the only time she would quietly get up if she noticed he was flailing or was in distress.
I don't think he would flail at any point, because that would attract attention. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think he's doing enough to to look distressed, but you certainly notice that he's active.
Okay, then that would be secondary because her first notion would be for his welfare, and if he was what she did, took care of people, and if he was exhibiting any signs of being in some sort of physical pain, perhaps that he was masking during the day, because she's seen that in people, and once she's satisfied with that, the noticing taking something out of the cabinet would be completely secondary.
Okay.
So it would be noticing it would be like, oh, he probably found another bottle of alcohol or something.
Okay. And then if we so that event takes place, and then if we fast forward a few hours kind of into that morning light, right? You're Pappy, I'm gonna say this might be the first one of these that you've ever recovered. And so you're trembling a little bit with excitement. This is one of the things that your order is on the lookout for, right? Is that this, if it's what you believe it to be, is some sort of document of another member of the order and their findings. And so since there's no like true institution to house this stuff, it's supposed to be passed along before death, but in some cases that can't occur. And so this is a major piece of information for your order that's been recovered.
How big is the book?
Not terribly thick. It's probably an inch and a half thick. And
Okay.
yeah, but it's all, as you start to like flip through, it's all handwritten. Some of it's written in the language of your order, and some of it's in English. So some of it's coded, and would probably, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, then I'll just put it in my pack, because I can't really take the time now to read through it. I'll have to wait until I have a bit of time to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay. So, all right. And then as you slip it into your pack, we'll pan or kind of zoom out of the house, and we'll land as the newspaper slaps down on the driveway, and there's a column on the left-hand side of the newspaper, and it's the papers for the Los Alamos News, but the paper's called The Flash, and it says, "Big news today out of Central City, as last night had us once again on guard against the veritable threats of the government hounds. This notice should serve as a reminder that these vicious beasts are only to be handled by trained professionals. When you hear the sirens, head inside. We continue to see evidence of their savagery as missing persons have been on the rise in the straits, with one such witness saying, 'They ripped him right out of my arms, they did. It was gruesome smell that preceded it all, like rotten eggs in a clogged toilet. I was holding back the wretch so hard I couldn't even protect my babe.' The Army has doubled patrols in the area and reassures citizens that those who seek shelter during the alarms will be safe." Not to be outdone, Big Earl McIntyre found himself a bullet in the head at his gas station after hours last night during a robbery. This writer is obligated to report the robbery and include the sketches of the potential perpetrators below. According to reports, these two men were chasing Lana Paray through downtown when some of Earl's men came to her aid. After the two perpetrators attempted to run them off the road, Lyle Covens and Jake Matthews pulled into the station to call for help. They were pinned down by gunfire when Earl arrived. The two suspects shot Earl and fled the scene. Though in this reporter's opinion, calling this a factual retelling of the events is conflagration which sears the reputation of my good profession and leaves any reader's confidence in ashes about what they can believe. Word out now is that citywide perimeter checks will be reinstated without warning in the next few days. Make sure to carry relevant ID and be ready to state your purpose. Those without are likely to find themselves on the wrong end of a very testy MP. That's the Flash. Until tomorrow, Maddie E.
Well,
Oh no.
thanks a lot, guys. You got out of town, and the rest of us are going to have to show ID, and martial law's been declared.
Hey, we don't know they got out of town.
That's true.
They got out. Let's hope they got out.
We don't know where they are. All right, we can take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
All right, we'll take a few minutes and see everybody on the other side. We are back from break. Michael, back to you.
Sure. Just seems like moments ago. All right.
Did you forget what happened?
I did.
There was a newspaper article. It said that Buddy and Eddie are local heroes, and they're getting a key to the city and a ceremony tomorrow.
Can you make a sand roll, buddy?
Fuck. Oh my God.
Yeah. Is that my
Really?
99?
Really?
Is that my 99?
Random
99?
sand roll for no reason, and I roll a 96.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Damn it.
Y'all are driving speedily towards Abacu, Eddie, and let's see how bad this is.
Buddy's driving.
What's that?
Buddy's driving.
Oh, fuck. This is going to be fun. Oh, yeah. Not as fun as Joe, but pretty fun. And Eddie, Buddy slams on the brakes in the middle of the road and looks at you. You take 3 points of damage, by the way. Looks at you and
I
says,
do take 3 points of damage?
No. Buddy does. Looks at
Wait.
you, Eddie.
Regular damage or sand damage?
Sand damage, sorry.
Okay.
God, you'd be almost dead if you took 3 points of regular damage.
Remember, I am horribly low on sanity.
Oh, you are?
You don't remember that from when I made this
Oh,
character?
that's right. What are you at?
I'll tell you in a second. I'll come back to me.
Okay, you and Joe are driving a rocket downhill fast. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. So he slams on the brakes in the middle of the road, and he looks at you and he goes, "We gotta go back for Lana." He has a crisis about the fact that y'all just abandoned Lana back there.
I get what you're saying. It's tough. I know it's tough, but this is something I gotta have you understand here. We just killed a guy, and nobody knows why we killed him. And I got to get in touch with the office. I got to find out what's going on, and we got to get in touch with the police and help them to understand this. Those guys, they could still be chasing us. If we go back right now, there's a good chance we're either going to have to kill more people, or we're going to get killed.
But what are they going to do to her? That's going to be our responsibility if something horrible happens to her.
I know it's tough. I mean, I guess, if we're going to do this Blaze of Glory thing, I'm not going to let you go back there alone. But, she's in a bad position. That's what I can say, though, is they kept her alive. Maybe there's a chance they need her. And I know that if you and I go in there alone and we ain't got no backup and we don't even have anybody knowing what we're doing, there's a good chance either we get dead or we got to make a whole bunch of people dead, and they might kill her anyway if they feel threatened.
But can't the FBI help?
Well, but I don't. It's not like there's a car phone. Those things don't exist.
Oh yeah, that would be
someplace with
weird.
a
It's not
phone.
like we're in space.
No,
I see those
that
in
would
comic
that's-
books.
That's not even something I can imagine. Dick Tracy
Yeah.
doesn't even have that, right?
Well, no, he does. He got it on his watch.
I thought he had it in his shoe.
No, that's the other guy.
So,
You don't read many comic books, do you, Eddie?
No, I don't. I don't read a lot of comic books. I don't have a lot of
Okay.
time for those. So what I'm saying is, let's keep going. Eventually, we got to hit a gas station, right? Eventually, we find a phone, and then we call the office. There's an office in Albuquerque. What that was is that one of the close big cities? This is
Sure.
just me not knowing geography. So we call the office.
Actually, yeah, go ahead. I'll look it up.
Okay, whatever it is, Santa Fe, Albuquerque, whatever. There's an office. I want to call them. There's a hotline. I get through and I let them know if I ever discharge my weapon and we take someone out like that, I got to let people know immediately. And if we don't do that, we could be on the wrong side of the law around here. We got to get ahead of this.
Okay,
And if we don't, if we go back in guns blazing and they kill Lana because we went in guns blazing, then how are we going to feel about it? This way, at least there's a chance they keep her alive because they need something from her.
That's a good point. But can you tell them that they've got an innocent person and they need to help?
Oh, I'm going to tell them everything, and maybe what's something you could tell the army too. We get there, and they're closer than my people. You know, you got your MP friends. Maybe someone around there can jump in and help a little bit. Just not the people that were in the basement with the stabbing and the prodding and the poking. But there's got to be some MPs you trust.
Okay.
But the first thing we got to do is maybe you want me to drive. I'm just saying you're a good driver. I love you driving, but it seems like you're feeling a little distraught. So would you prefer that I drive for you and you can just sit there and relax and maybe catch your breath?
Yeah, I guess with a 96, probably yes, huh?
Yeah, sure.
I'm feeling like you'd be a little shook up.
Okay. Maybe that's a good idea. But let's get right to a phone, okay? And
we're getting right to that phone. I'm going to
Okay.
drive like a motherfucking bat out of hell here. You're never going to
Okay.
see a car drive like this.
I don't think you need to swear that much, but okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't. I'm so fucking sorry about that. And so I'm going to get behind the wheel, get you strapped, like make sure you're strapped in, and just ronk on this gas pedal as hard as I can.
I don't think
And
there's
I'm not
seatbelts
gonna-
back then, but okay.
Or whatever, yeah. So, and it's not like I'm going as fast as the car can go, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to show Buddy that I'm getting up to speed and I'm driving.
Okay. So, I guess ultimately, then this is up to y'all. Where are y'all headed?
So we'd gone the opposite direction of the direction
Right, y'all are headed north, essentially. Think of it that way.
Towards Abiquiu.
that doesn't help me at all.
Okay.
I don't have a
I
map of
thought you
this
said
area
we were
in my
going
head.
towards Abiquiu.
Right, but you're headed north out of Los Alamos, right? But from there you could go towards Abiquiu. You could probably go toward. I should.
Okay. So just, if we're going towards Abiquiu, then we're going towards Abiquiu. I mean, I don't think we would necessarily change direction.
Mm-mm. No, we're going straight shot and trying to get our way to a phone.
Okay.
So
All right. Let's see.
which means we're going towards Abiquiu.
There you go. All right.
All right. So, yep, just drive and drive. I want to check real quick and see how the gas tank looks.
Make a luck roll.
Oh shit.
I knew there was something that.
Yeah, aren't I glad I asked?
Sure, this could be great.
Was something I had thought of pre-show. I was like, I don't know how much gas was in that car.
Yeah, I made it by 5. I got a 35.
All right. And then you can roll a D.
D1 million.
Roll a D8.
How about the oil? Has anyone checked the oil? What about the coolants?
You're not helping.
Shut up, Joe. I got a 4.
All right. So we'll say you've got you got a half a tank.
Okay.
I mean, if Sam could get back to the farm on his radiator beaten deer mobile, it seems fair that you got half a tank of gas.
All right, perfect. So just until you tell me otherwise, I'm just driving and scanning and looking for, I'm not going up to a farmhouse and waking some poor person up, nothing like that. I don't even trust how to have a phone, but I'm looking
Okay.
for a gas station, or if we get to town, I'll, find a place in town. And if there's no place obvious, go straight to the police station.
Okay. Then I think that's if y'all are headed in the general direction of Abiquiu, we can just go there and you can arrive at the police station. Lorekeeper, you don't have my policeman, do you? His name handy? That would be so wonderful.
I know. You mean the one that helped Joe like
Yeah, that
6
one.
years ago?
Yeah. But he's also
Wow. The deep cut.
Yeah.
But he's also the same one who pulled over the crew headed into Abiquiu, remember?
Wait, I thought he was the one who. Spoiler alert! I thought he was the one who died. Wasn't he the one who died with Wayne's character?
Oh, that guy didn't die.
Oh, he didn't?
No, you just
thought he-
discovered Wayne.
I thought he got.
Yeah.
I thought he got
Splatter.
shot in the
got-
face.
I thought he got
mean,
splattered.
splattered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
splattered
that's
on
what I
his
So you
meant.
got
face.
splattered.
Splattered
Nobody
with
said
your-
anything about him dying.
Well,
Oh,
everyone who
okay.
got splattered.
Well,
died.
not everyone who got splattered died. We don't know that.
Yeah,
We don't know that.
and to be fair, one of the characters had nothing to do with the splatter. Franny didn't die due to splatter.
Oh, really? We're gonna do this right now? We're gonna do
I
this
just-
right now?
I'm just saying.
Franny didn't necessarily die. We don't know that.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying, right?
We
Like,
kind of know that.
Do we?
Oh, well, since we were all
We don't know
talking,
that.
I was able to find it. It's Officer Mulvaney.
perfect.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah.
That's who I was looking for.
All right.
Yeah, very
So
good.
as soon as we
Man,
get
our
there,
lore keeper.
I want to sort of, I don't know if Buddy, did you fall asleep or are you just sort of looking off in the middle distance?
No, definitely awake. Very much awake.
Okay. All right, good. So all right, we're here. Let's go on in. Let me do some explaining. I'm going to be flashing my badge. You take out your MP credentials. We're going to have to get a bit official on this one, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir. Eddie, sir. Let's go.
All right, good man. All right, so head on in. And do we see Officer Mulvaney sitting at the front desk?
No, you don't. There's one officer right behind the desk, and she's looking pretty calm. Like that's a pretty quiet night, and it just has kind of a nameplate up in the window, and it says Officer Jones.
All right. Also going up, hey, Officer Jones. Nice to meet you. I'm going to flash my FBI badge, show all my credentials, say, my name is Eddie Ten Fingers Del Dingendorf. Nobody can say Del Dingendorf, so please feel free to call me Eddie Ten Fingers if you want. I'm with the FBI. I'm here on an investigation. I'm here with my good friend. He's doing the investigation with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy.
Yeah. Hi, ma'am. My name's Francis. I'm a military police officer stationed in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And did you show her the credentials?
Yeah.
Yep. So I'd say I hate to put this on you guys. I know it's late and no one wants to deal with this, but we were just in an altercation. We had to shoot a man who had a weapon and was threatening us. There were several other individuals. They'd taken a woman hostage. I need to use your phone right away so that we can call the FBI office in Albuquerque, whatever, so that they can go and get her free and we can go back and help them. And we're also going to be calling the military police.
How are y'all presenting at this point? I'm just trying to
get
think.
messy or anything. Like we
Yeah,
didn't-
I'm just trying to think back, like what your first kind of impressions would be
we've
towards
got, like,
her. As
you know,
well.
I've got
Yeah.
a suit on.
I always
you know,
picture
okay.
Buddy in uniform.
Yeah,
Okay.
Buddy's got to be in uniform, and I'm in like my uniform, which is a suit.
Okay, and
Nothing happened to trash our clothes or anything.
okay, and then make a. Well, yeah, you got something like in the way of persuade or psychology or something like that. I want to see how you come off to her.
Sure. I mean, so
Yeah.
psychology, I put a lot in there.
Okay.
Or persuade's okay. So I either way I
Psychology's
got it.
fine.
I got it. If
Okay.
we do psychology, I got a hard success.
Oh, okay. All right. And then she says, absolutely, sir. Anything that we can do to assist you? She goes, it's kind of early in the morning, though, to be shooting people.
You don't tell me. We had to drive here because we were being pursued. This happened back in
Should
Los
I be worried?
Alamos.
Is there anybody coming after you?
Well, that's way they weren't we got far enough away where I think they gave up and turned around.
All right. So she puts the phone on the desk for you and then walks to the front door and locks it behind you.
All right, so I don't know if you need me to play it out or not, but I'm going to call the office, report
Okay.
exactly what happened, give them all the details, give them the address, the location, tell them the description of every person, the gentleman that I shot, where I shot him, why I shot him, he was armed, the other guys, the secret room in the basement. I'm going to tell them there's gas or some other type of chemical compound. They almost got us with it, but thanks to the heroics of the person I'm working with, a guy named Buddy from an MP, we were able to sort of get away just before the gas got us. If they go in and investigate, they better make sure they have hazmat suits. And I'm going to say, and these guys seem pretty smart, so I wouldn't put it past them to have a plan to get this place cleared out. So we need to get over there immediately, but there's a really good chance that the only thing that's going to be left from the gas in the administration system is going to be a residue. And I'm going to mention all the pipes, again, the secret compartment. Like, I'm giving them soup to nuts, the entire description.
Sure. And who's your superior that you're calling?
Why would you ask me hard questions?
Yeah, I know.
What is the?
I like to give you hard things, Scott.
What's like a higher up in the FBI called?
I just need a name. Just give me a name.
Smithson.
Wow.
It's Smith.
Is that his whole name or just the first name?
His last name is
Son of Smith. I am Earl, son of Smith.
No, not one Smith, two Smiths. Smithson is his name.
Okay. All right. We'll move right. And he says back.
This is why Scott does not GM.
Agent Smithson.
Smithson.
Agent Ten Fingers. You realize that area that you're talking about is well out of the jurisdiction of your authorization.
No, that's not true, sir. And you know that. There is no jurisdiction for investigating a murder. I'm a Federal Bureau of Investigation officer, which means the entire country is in my jurisdiction. We both know that, so let's not get into a piss and match for no reason.
Well,
together we're partners in all this, and I'm sorry this is going to give you paperwork. That's the last thing I want to do. But we got to get over there and save this woman, Lana. She's in serious risk. And if we try and go back, I'm afraid that it's not just that we're going to get shot. That's part of this job. I know that. But that we might wind up getting her killed if we go back on our own. We need support from you before we can do this, sir.
But you are under the jurisdiction of the Army right there, the United States government, which doesn't qualify for us as every part of this nation.
This is
your reins were limited.
Mr. Officer, Agent, Officer, I don't know what Mr. Smithson, this did not happen on the Army base. I did not investigate on the Army base. Buddy, the gentleman I'm working with, has been given permission to help me and support me, but we were not on the Army base when this happened. I have no jurisdiction there. This is the Federal Bureau. This is why it's me. This is our job. Because this is not on the Army base. There, I admit it. I couldn't do a thing.
All right. And he says, hold on a moment. It gets really quiet on the other line.
Sir, Eddie, sir, maybe play the angle that we witnessed a kidnapping and we were obligated to help.
That's a good point. I brought it up, but I'll hit it even harder. You're a good man.
And he's gone for a good, let's say 5 or 6 minutes. Takes him a while to come back on the line. And you hear the phone click, and he gets back on the phone, and he says, I'll have a crew there in 2 hours. Meet us there. And then he hangs up.
How long is the drive from Abiquiu?
It would be it wouldn't be fast, right? I would say it's probably,
How long did it take us from the place?
I think we were calling it a couple hours in the past few episodes, right?
Yeah. So yeah. I'm going to call back immediately.
Can we make it 2.5?
And I'm going to be like, as soon as he picks up, I'm going to be like, I'm like 2.5 hours away right now.
And nobody answers. Okay,
well, guys, so I'm just going to hang up and I'm going to go, buddy, plug your ears for a second. He's a freaking asshole. All right. So, I think the point about I'll say to you, his point about the Army and the jurisdiction, it's a pretty good point. I don't know. Would the Army help out with something like this? Would the MPs, can they investigate things off base?
He's not.
This has nothing to do with the military police. You're just helping me. You've been given permission.
Only if it involves someone in the military.
I think that exactly. Yep.
If like a soldier was involved in a a murder.
So what about the fact that they tried to make you dead? Does that include them? Because they shouldn't be allowed to make MPs dead.
No, I don't think so. Because I don't think they'd really want me getting too much involved in this. They were a little not wanting me to get involved in the first place.
Okay. All right. So why don't we do this?
I don't get a lot of workplace support.
Oh, that's why you're on my team now, buddy. So let's go fill up the gas tank. Yeah, let's go fill up the gas tank and we'll just head back and let's see if those schmucks are going to go in before us. That's not our problem. We can just get there as fast as we can.
Oh, okay.
So
go get
unless
some gas.
something impedes it,
Oh,
Michael,
and
we'll just... I'll go. Sorry.
Anything from the officer there? Does she react at all?
She's basically like taking notes and kind of the corner of her eye looking up at y'all occasionally. But nothing overt.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, her name again was
Officer Jones.
Thank you. So I'm going to say, Officer Jones, first of all, we need to get gas immediately. Is there some way that you can support us? Like a lot of police stations have their own, gas facilities. If that's something you can help us with, let us know. Otherwise, we got to get to a station to get gas. If you can help us with that, that would be fantastic. The second thing is, if you've taken notes. I saw you write all that down. I need you to please get in touch with the police over in, what is it?
What's the town or the municipality where this thing took place in?
Yeah.
Well, it's just on the outskirts of Los Alamos.
Okay.
Okay.
It's still Los Alamos. Los Alamos. So can you please give a call to Los Alamos? Tell them that we saw, make sure that the police understand this part. Okay. We're relying on you. We did a foot pursuit after we saw a woman abducted. We followed them on foot.
She's writing everything down.
Yep. We followed the woman all the way to the station. That's where we got in the altercation. And they were armed men. And that's why we shot them. Okay. They're just going to find some bodies and they're not going to know what to think about it. So they need to understand the FBI is involved and we had justification and we're on our way back to see if we can get Lionel alive.
All right. So she says, she goes, I'll wake Jim. She goes, we don't have a gas depot here. We're too small a town, but I'll ring Jim and get him. He'll meet you down at his store's right around the corner there. You passed it on the way in, and he'll get you fueled up and on your way. And I'll go ahead and call on ahead to Los Alamos for you.
Thank you, officer.
Thank you, ma'am.
Couldn't appreciate it more.
She make a luck roll.
All right, did you want to do it since I've been rolling so much?
Yeah. Come on, Hardy.
Yep, that's a success.
Okay.
Thanks.
She just kind of pauses as you're walking out. She raises a finger and she says, she goes, I just thought I'd mention that, if I call the police down there, it's going to go through the base. Is that what you want?
I'll turn to Buddy and I'll be like, Buddy, we got to decide what's more important, doing the right thing here and maybe keeping Lana alive, even if it means you can't, if they got a problem with your investigation.
Yeah, if we can get help, anything that's better for Lana.
Yeah, it's such a good point. If they get pissed off and they want to get involved and maybe help keep Lana alive, they can earn those paychecks they're making there. So we wouldn't complain at all.
Yeah, whatever the right thing to do is.
All right. So she starts, then she goes, okay, I'll make the calls for you.
Yeah, and I don't know what the correct protocol would be, but Buddy would definitely follow the rules, even if it's not in his best interest.
Okay. And so y'all head out then, y'all fill up with gas, and you're on your way.
They have coffee, by the way.
Jim's nice folk, and he says, I just brewed a fresh pot for y'all. And
Jim, you're a good man.
Okay. It's a weary drive, kind of an adrenaline fueled drive back down towards Los Alamos. And as you arrive at the former gas station, there's at this point reporters have been there. There's cars from the base. There's police cars and what you would recognize, as FBI cars, Eddie.
Okay. So gun away. I'll say make sure, guns are away. Badge out. I'm coming out and I'm holding up my badge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say it's Eddie. Eddie 10 Fingers Del Dingendorf. I'm here with my friend Buddy.
Eddie, put that damn thing away and get over here.
And so I'll sort of keep it sort of on my side and walk on over.
Okay.
Is it you?
Yeah, it's
Grand
Agent
Chief Smithson?
Yeah, it's Agent Smithson. So,
what'd you find? Did you find anything? We got it as quick as we could. I told you we were all the way in Abiquiu. We weren't going to get here in any 2 hours.
Yeah, by the time we got here, we've got this lady over there. I got a witness saying that y'all have been stalking her for the last couple of days. What the hell's going on down here, Eddie?
Is Solana's alive and she's there?
You don't see her, but you would assume that's who he's referring to.
Sure. So we'll say Lana's part of our investigation. We learned about her, and I'll tell him about Lori, whatever the hell his name was, the guy at the bar that put us on her trail. Tell him she's the what is it? She was the magical assistant or whatever.
Yep. To the disappeared magician.
Yeah, the magician that disappeared, exactly. And she could be really important to the investigation. And when the first time we tried to approach her and talk to her in very neutral terms, she, tried to strike us and she flipped a table on us. And so she became a person of interest. I said, obviously, people aren't allowed to just go around and hit FBI agents, right? Nobody wants that. So we've been trying to track her down. And in the process of trying to track her down, we found out that we saw her get kidnapped, taken into a car, and that's when we did a foot pursuit. So yeah, she's seen us coming after her because we're trying to ask her questions, and every time we try and ask her questions, she throws a table at us.
And he looks at you, and then he looks at you, Buddy, and he looks back at you, Eddie, and he says, I don't know what the hell happened here, but you two have a lot of explaining to do. And Eddie, I want the truth. And we'll close on that.
All right. All right. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Until next time, you can check us out at underthelibrary.com. Hit us up on Twitter. I am on Twitter at Tall and Nerdy. Michael is there at Under the LIB. And you should definitely check us out on our other podcast. It's called Up Your RPG. So until next time, for me, for Michael, for Emily, for Chris, Rick, Wayne, and Scott, thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.